Hi, welcome back to Donegal Dad. I'm Mark. Today we're going to carry on looking at some of the scenery for the hillside. We're going to look at the hard standing and the roadway, do some prep work on that, and we're also going to have a look at doing some ballasting. Right, here we are back at the hillside. The scatter has had a couple of days to dry on with the glue, so we're going to take the vacuum now with the stocking over the end. If your vacuum has an adjustable power on it, turn it down to the lowest setting. And we just go over and suck up any excess. And we do this over the whole area that we put scatter on. And then every so often just take the stocking off and empty it into a tub so we can reuse it. The excess is now vacuumed off of the base colour. So we get our spray bottle, which has just got a watered down mixture of PVA with a couple of drops of washed up liquid in it, which helps break the surface tension. All we're going to do is just spray over. Give it a good soaking. And then we're going to get our next colour, which is a different shade of green, and we're just going to sprinkle that over as before. We're just giving it a scattering all over, and you can see how the different shades are blending in, highlighting the different areas. Yeah, we just leave that to dry, and then we'll come back and repeat the process. Alright, let's look at the road surface now. We'll take off the door insulation that we were using to create a dam. So we'll take that off. Little bits of excess plaster we can just pick off. You see it all comes up quite easily. And then we can look at the road surface, and we'll give it a sand and sand it out level to the desired effect that we want. So using some rough sandpaper to start off with, just start giving it a rub. That just takes off some of the edges to smooth them off, so you can blend it in with the scenery better. When you're happy with the surface that you want, just give it a paint. That's the sanding done. You can see there's some bumps and ridges and holes and left, which I'm going to highlight during the painting process to produce potholes and bumps and patch repairs on the roadway. I've done some extra filling in the hard standing because some of the ruts were a bit too deep. So I'm going to leave that to dry now, and I'm going to carry on with the ballasting. Let's start ballasting. I'm not going to do anything different than to the other hundreds of ballasting videos that are out there. What I'm using for ballast is some small aquarium gravel. This bag here from Pets at Home, it cost me about £4. It's quite a big bag. I've decanted some of it into an old ice cream tub. It just makes it easier to spread around. So let's get started. I'm just using a spoon, just gently spread it along the track. And using a brush, gently spread it out. So I'm just using an old paintbrush here. And just spread it out, get it all between the rails. Any overspill can go over the sides, forming the shoulder. You can see I think the size of this gravel actually is quite a good fit for 00 scale. And if we just tap along with the spoon, it helps it all settle and all helps it dance off the sleepers. You can see this section here. There's a sleeper missing, so I'm going to cut out a sleeper just to put in there. That's where I put the droppers onto the track. So I'll do that now and I'll come back. There's that little section done. So we now mist it with water. Give it a good soak in. Don't be afraid of getting the baseboard wet. You don't want to do it too close in case you disturb the ballast that you've set in. Then using your 50-50 mix of PVA and water with a couple of drops of washing up liquid. Use a suitable dropper. And just go along, dropping the mixture along the ballast, down the centre, along the sides. I find these very useful. I can't even remember where I got them. They're just bigger than pipettes, so it allows you to do more in one go than just using a small 1mm pipette. So I'll carry on doing this, and I'll come back to you in a minute. There's all the glue applied now to the ballast. Leave that to dry for a good 12 to 24 hours, depending on your ambient conditions. When you're ballasting points and crossovers, you just need to take your time, making sure all the check rails and frogs are cleared of any ballast before you put any glue down, and that the points are working and making contact. If you're relying on the point blades for electrical continuity, use a bit of blue tack or something similar, just to cover over the blades, so when you put the glue down, the glue doesn't get into the blades and affect your contacts. So again, spray gently with water, give it a good soak in. And then get your glue. And do as you did before. Down the centre of the rails, and along the sides. Excellent. Leave that to dry for a good 24 hours and it should be done. If you want to use this method of hard stand-in for in the likes of an engine shed or a fueling point, something like that, you can pour the plaster over the rails, and to create the gap for the flange you can either put thin pieces of a plastic card in there, or when it's dried just use a disc of a Dremel and just score down by hand and you have the correct gap that you need for the wheel flanges to go through. I hope you found that useful on scenics and layout. Next time we'll be carrying on with some more scenics again. So please don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and leave any comments down below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.